So if you're here, comment so we know you're here. Oh, and if you're following along, we're using your belt today. If you don't have your belt, you can use anything from a regular belt to a scarf, or if you practice yoga, you might have a yoga strap at home. Anything will do.
I have my belt.
You could use a resistance band too if you have like those workout bands. That works too. So ready.
Now we won't get double audio.
Oh, that's good. Okay.
I'm getting audio from my phone.
Oh, I see. Okay.
Ah, a few people are watching now.
5 people watching. Cool. Okay, yay. So, yeah, I know a lot of you guys left your belts here, but if you have your belt at home or a spare belt, scarf, regular belt, yoga strap, resistance band, whatever you have will be fine. Yanni, your clock doesn't even say 3 yet.
Oh yeah. That thing is slow.
Alright, should we get started or
Yeah, let's get started.
Okay.
People will join in.
people will trickle in? Okay, cool. Alright, so we're gonna start sitting crisscross, sitting up nice and tall, and again we'll just roll the shoulders back a few times. Breathing in through your nose. Good. Relax your shoulders down. Hand to the knee. Look over your shoulder. Keep your spine nice and straight. Inhale, come forward. Exhale, twist. Again, inhale, look forward. Exhale, twist, straight back. One more time, twisting. Good, looking forward, thumb facing down, we're gonna pull it across, slightly up. And when you pull, you never wanna be pulling directly on your elbow joint, either above or below your elbow. And switch, pull it across and up. Good, hands on your knees, we'll just roll the head. Get any kinks out of the neck. Rolling in both directions, reversing. And relax the neck. Bring one arm up and over. Maybe you can get your elbow to the floor. And switch. Inhale, both arms up. Interlace your hands. Press it up nice and tall. Reach, reach, reach. And then releasing your hands, interlace them behind your back, elbows straight, puff up your chest, squeeze your shoulder blades together, but relax your shoulders away from your ears as you're puffing up your chest. Deep breaths. And as you're here, go ahead and bring the right ear to the right shoulder. Elbows stay straight. Left ear, left shoulder. Good, relax your shoulders, relax your hands. We're gonna reach for your strap or your belt or whatever you're using. Okay, so the wider you grip, the easier it'll be. So start wide, you can always bring it in a little bit more if you need to. There should be no slack in between your hands, so pull tight so you have tension. Elbows stay locked. Inhale, bring the belt overhead, and then exhale, relax your shoulders down. Again, deep breath in, Exhale, lower down. Inhale up. Exhale, lower. Last time, we're gonna hold it up at your tightest point and breathe for 5 deep breaths. 4, 3, 2, exhale, relax. Leave your strap in front of you, hands on the knees. We'll make gentle circles with the shoulders, just loosening up the hips. As you make your circles, try to exhale on the way down, inhale on the way up. And reverse, make sure you're leaning to the side on your circles. 2 more times around. And back to the middle. We're gonna grab your belt again. So I'm gonna show you this one first because it takes a little more coordination, and then we'll do it together. So it's almost like rowing. Same idea, elbows locked, and you have tension in between your hands. We'll take one arm up and over, then the opposite arm comes up and down, okay? And we're just gonna keep doing this almost figure 8 pattern. And again, if this is difficult for you, then you can widen your grip. Just make sure that your elbows aren't bending. Two more deep breaths. We're really working the range of your shoulder. Okay, now we're gonna reverse. So the opposite hand comes back, opposite hand comes forward. Keep those elbows nice and straight. Make sure that your back stays nice and straight. Keep your core tight. 2 more times here. Good job, Yanni.
I feel a little bit uncoordinated with this one.
Yeah, this one is a little bit more coordination. That's why I demoed it first. Good. Roll your shoulders out again. And then we'll just stretch the neck out a little bit. Bend your left elbow. And then roll your shoulder back. Turn your head away. Use your hand to bring the nose towards the armpit. Good, and then we'll switch. Opposite elbow bends, knuckles touching the back. Turn your head away and pull the nose down. Good, you can set your belt to the side. We're gonna need it in a bit, so keep it handy. And then we'll come up onto all fours. And you want your hands about 1 handprint forward of your shoulders. I'm just gonna move back a little bit and bring your hips up into downward facing dog. Okay, start pedaling out your heels, just loosening up your legs. And we'll just get a little warm here with some sun salutations. So looking in between your hands, step or jump forward. And then inhale, take your arms up as high as you can, get a little baby back bend. Exhale, come all the way back down. Let your head hang, shake your head yes and no. Step your right foot back to a low lunge. Left arm's gonna spin up to the sky so we get a little twist. Good, bring the hand down. Step back to plank. You can lower nice and slow all the way to the floor. Untuck your toes, lift your chest. Look over one shoulder and switch. Good, look forward, retuck the toes, downward facing dog. Bring your right leg all the way up towards the ceiling, stretch it up as high as you can. See if you can push your left heel towards the floor. You're gonna feel that in your calf, and then switch. Opposite leg stretches up. Push the right heel towards the floor. Good. Bring the foot back down. Look in between your hands, step or jump forward. Let your head and arms just relax. And then again, slowly coming up, bring the arms overhead, palms together, back bend. Exhale, fold all the way back down. Good, this time left foot steps back, big step. Right palm all the way up, so we're gonna twist on the other side. Good, hand to the floor, step back to plank. Lower down nice and slow. Untuck your toes, lift your chest. Retuck your toes, downward facing dog. Again, let's bring the right leg all the way up, stretch, stretch, stretch. And switch, kick it up. Good, both feet on the floor. Step or jump forward and relax your head and your arms. Good, slowly rolling up to stand. Roll your shoulders back. We're gonna do a little balance work here, so we'll start with tree. Shift your weight into the right foot, hands on the hips. Bring the sole of your left foot against your ankle, your calf, or your upper inner thigh. You can keep your hands on your hips or bring your hands together and press your hands into each other. And you want equal pressure between your foot and your legs sort of squeezing together. If you're wobbling, you can stay here. Otherwise, let's see if you can bring the arms up. I hope Pete is watching so he got his tree pose this time.
Do the tree pose, Pete. Your favorite.
Any one-legged balancing is really good for strengthening the muscles around your knee. So if you have knee injuries, which most jiu-jitsu people do, this is a good one to do. One more deep breath. Good, and then slowly lower the arms and shake it out. Shake, 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 and we'll switch. So hands on the hips to start. Shift your weight into the other foot, and then place your foot anywhere on the leg beside your knee joint. And this knee that's bent, you want to kind of turn it out. It's got a tendency to want to kind of sickle in. So we're working on the hip flexibility. Okay, and then hands come together. You stay here or arms come up. Deep breaths through your nose. Keep your chest and chin lifted. And if you're doing this on a mat that's like squishy, it's going to be more of a challenge to your balance, like me and Yanni are doing right now. If you're on a harder surface, it's a little less challenging. One more deep breath. And then let it go and shake it out. Good. Inhale, both arms up, hands together, back bend. Exhale, fold down. Relax your head. Hands on the floor, bending your knees, step or jump back to plank. And all the way down, up into your upward facing dog. Downward facing dog. Pushing your heels towards the floor. Okay, this time when we step or jump forward, we're going to bring the feet outside of the hands for our squat. So you can bend your knees and do a little hop. And you should land with your feet outside of your hands. Okay, so make sure that your toes are slightly outward and your heels are slightly inward. Chest up, elbows pushing the knees away, hands together. at the center of your chest. 3 deep breaths here. A lot of people have a tendency to raise their heels in the squat, but do your best to keep the heels grounded. 1 more deep breath. Good, and then from here, we'll bring the fingers to the floor. Straighten your legs, and then scoot your feet back together, drop your head. Relax your neck. Bend your knees, hands on the floor, step or jump back to plank. Good, lower to the floor, lift your chest. Downward facing dog. Raise your right leg all the way up, stretch, stretch, stretch. Okay, on your next breath, we're gonna bend that right leg and lunge forward, bringing the foot between your hands. Good, straighten your front knee as much as you can. So I'm in like a pyramid pose now. Both knees are as straight as you can. And just relax your head down towards the knee. Two more deep breaths here. Then on your next inhale, bring your hands to your hips and straight back all the way up to stand. Okay, we're gonna do another balancing pose. I'll show you first and then we'll do it together. So we're gonna come into warrior 3 from here. So from the exact position you're in, we're gonna bend slightly the front knee and shift your weight onto your back toes. And then from here, pick a spot on the floor to focus your eyes, and you're gonna lift your back foot off the floor. If your hands are comfortable on your hips, you can keep them there. You can play with a hand variation if you want to bring your hands together at your chest, or you can bring your hands straight alongside your hips. Some people like to bring them alongside the ears. Good. 1 more deep breath here. And then we'll bring the back foot to meet the front foot, hands together, baby back bend. And then fold forward, relax your neck. Deep breaths. Good, bend your knees, hands to the floor, step or jump back to plank. You know what to do. Downward facing dog. And this time left leg's gonna come all the way up. Same thing, second side, bend the knee, lunge your foot forward in between the hands, and then straighten that front knee. Your back heel drops to the floor, drop your head. So I'll show you from the side. See, yeah. Two more deep breaths here. And then when you're ready, hands come to your hips, straight back all the way up. Okay, so same thing, we're gonna bend the front knee slightly, shift your weight forward, and then take your time lifting your back toes, any amount. Ideally, we come in parallel to the floor. And then you can play around with any hand variation. Two more deep breaths here. You can't see what Yanni's doing. And then again, feet together. And then baby back bend. Exhale, fall forward. Oh, I forgot my hair tie. My hair's like in my face the whole video. That's great. Good. Relax your neck, your shoulders relax. One more deep breath here. Good, and then we're gonna come down onto all fours for some frog pose. So we did this last time too, so we'll start with the half frog on each side and then go into the full frog. Okay, so from all fours, we're gonna extend your left leg out to the side so that you're on the inside blade of the foot. Lean your weight back and slide the inside of your foot away from you. You can come onto your forearms and use your elbows to push your knees, push your hips towards your heels.
This is a good stretch.
Yeah, you should feel this in the inner thigh. Oh, someone commented, but I can't read it. Someone said hi.
We'll read the comments at the end.
One more deep breath here. Good, and then shift your weight forward and slide the knee back into place. And we'll switch, opposite leg extends. Lean your weight back, slide the foot away. Use your elbows and palms to push your hips away. Yeah, the frog pose that we're gonna do next is a pretty intense hip stretch, but it's really good for your guard retention, overall flexibility. Inhale, shift your weight forward and slide the leg back. Okay, so the frog pose, I'll try to show you from a couple different angles. So you're gonna come wide with the knees, almost like a child's pose. You can choose to keep your toes connected or separated, whatever's more comfortable. And same idea, use your elbows to push your hips towards your heels. So if I show you from the side, I'm really pushing my weight back. Good, relax your head down as you're doing this. This is really good too if you're working on achieving a split, the straddle split. This is a good stretch to prepare you for that. One more deep breath. Good, lean your weight forward, bring the knees together to touch, and sit back for a regular child's pose. Good, make your way up onto all fours, spread your knees, hips distance apart, and we're gonna do some thread the needle. So we'll start with the left hand. We're gonna twist it up for 3 deep breaths, looking at your thumb if you can. And then on the exhale, we're gonna thread your ear and shoulder to the mat or the floor. Now optional, you can take this free arm overhead alongside your ear. And I like to tent my fingers. If you are very flexible in your shoulder, you can take the hand behind the low back, knuckles to the low back. You can even reach for your inner thigh. Just giving options. One more deep breath. And then unwind your free arm, press into the ground. And we'll switch. Okay, I'll do that facing you this time. So right arm's gonna come up now, looking at your thumb for 3, 2, exhale, thread ear and shoulder to the floor. Free arm is either gonna come alongside your ear or take a bind. Good. Begin to unravel. Press into the floor. Good. And then from here, we're just going to come all the way onto your stomach for some back bending. Okay, so the tops of your feet, I'm gonna move back a little. The tops of your feet should be touching the floor and together. Alright, so squeeze your inner thighs together. Lift your chest up, keep your ears away from your shoulders and your elbows should be bent. And then we're gonna try to maintain this back bend while lifting your hands.
I'm going low with it.
Right, so your hands kind of help you cheat when we think we're back bending. So you should feel a little tightness in your low back right now. One more deep breath. And then relax. Interlace your hands behind your back, elbows straight, and squeeze your shoulders together. Keep your ankles touching. Inhale, lift the chest and your feet. One more breath. Good, lower down. Bend your knees. You can either keep your hands clasped the way they are, or if you can, reach for the insides of the ankle. The outside of the ankle is fine too, but you won't get as much of a shoulder stretch, okay? You can also use your belt here too, like if you, let me show you. If you wanted to, if you're not flexible enough for the ankles, but the hand clasp is too easy, you can use the belt. I'll show you from the side. Okay, just like that instead, okay? So we're gonna come up whichever way you can. Hand clasp is fine too. Ready, inhale, lift. 2 more deep breaths here. Fill your belly up with air. Good. Slowly as you come down. Hands under your shoulders. Press back to child's pose. Good. Slowly coming up. We're going to tuck your toes under and just sit back on, let me lay it this way. Okay. So you want to tuck your toes and sit back on your heels and just give your feet a stretch. If you're leaning forward or your posture isn't straight, you're not going to feel it as much. So we're working on our jiu-jitsu feet here. So if you are used to wearing high heels or boots, this might be difficult for you. And make sure that you got like the pinky toes tucked as well.
No, they don't reach.
Biomechanical errors.
They're just like floating right there.
One more deep breath. Good, and you can lean forward and untuck your toes and swivel your feet forward into butterfly. So we'll bring the heels nice and close and lean forward. Use your elbows to push the knees away. Good, coming up. Extend your left foot forward, and we're gonna use the belt. Okay, so you're flexing your foot, and we're taking the belt around the middle of the foot. I'm gonna show you from the side. So, I want you to focus on your back as you're pulling on the strap, rather than how far your head comes down. Okay, so keep your back nice and straight. Tuck your elbows in like you're doing a row and keep flexing hard. All right, and then lead with your chest. Thinking about getting your chest towards your knee rather than your head. Okay, and then when you feel your back start to round, that's where you should be stopping and holding. and just relaxing your head. One more deep breath. Good, coming up, and we'll switch. You can just step your opposite foot in. Okay, same thing. So sit up nice and tall. Pull on the strap. Lead with your chest, elbows in tight. And then when you can't pull anymore and you feel your back rounding, drop your head and relax. One more deep breath. Good, coming up. And you can relax your foot out of the strap. Okay, we're gonna use the strap while we have it for a tricep stretch. I'm gonna show you it first, and then we'll do it together. So I'll show you from the front and the back view. So we're using this strap in our right hand, taking the arm all the way up and bending at the elbow. Opposite hand is gonna bend, knuckles facing the back. And you're gonna make a connection somewhere to your strap, okay? From here, you can start scooching your hands, walking them closer and closer together. Maybe, hopefully, they touch. However, while you're doing this, if you feel your back starting to round, that's no good. I'd rather have you with your hands farther apart and a straight back, okay? So I hope that makes sense. And then the other thing you need to be mindful of is whether your chest and chin are lifted. They have a tendency to want to crouch forward. All right, so 3 deep breaths here. Keep lifting your chin and pushing your elbows away. Think about pushing your elbows towards the wall behind you. When you're ready to come out, relax your bottom arm, then the top arm. Okay, so roll your shoulders out before we switch. This is an intense shoulder and tricep stretch. So you're bringing the strap into your other hand. And you can double up on the belt if it's, too long or whatever. All right, so we're here. We bring the arm up and bend at the elbow. Opposite hand bends, knuckles facing your back. Make a connection to the belt and start to walk your hand up the strap, pulling down. So that's another key detail. You want to pull down on the strap with the bottom hand. If you're really inflexible in the shoulders and it's hard for you to get your hand up high, then you can opt to grab the strap on a lower point and just pull straight down, straightening your elbow. Okay, so this feels pretty good on the tricep as well. One more deep breath here. Relaxing your bottom hand first, then the top hand. Good, roll the shoulders out. And roll them forward. Good, and then we'll take our legs nice and wide for our straddle split that we're all warmed up for now. So before we go straight ahead, we'll do some more side stretching for the lat. Elbow is either gonna come on top of your thigh or inside the thigh on the floor. If you're able to get your elbow onto the floor, use the elbow to dig into your inner thigh to help open your shoulder up to the ceiling. Okay, so push into the elbow, opposite arm alongside the ear towards your toes. Keep flexing your jiu-jitsu feet. Inhale, coming up. Exhale, switching. So if you're on the floor with the elbow, Push your elbow into the thigh. Spinning your opposite shoulder up towards the ceiling. One more deep breath. Good, coming up. And now we'll take the full stretch. So we're walking our hands. We did this last week too. The same idea, when you feel your back start to round here, that's when you just let your head go. One more deep breath here. Slowly walking your hands back. And then close your legs, feet together and flexed. You can choose to use your belt here too, around both feet. Okay, so we have the strap in the middle. Same idea as the single leg. We're squeezing and tucking the elbows in, leading with the chest. I'll show you from the side. Okay, so your back is straight as you come down. When you feel it start to round, relax your head, but keep pulling on the strap. Flexing your feet and pushing the backs of your knees into the floor. One more deep breath here. And then slowly come up. Keep your right foot in the strap. Take your left foot out of the strap. Okay, we're gonna roll onto your back in just a second. So make sure that your both feet are flexed and both knees are straight as you lean back. Use your core to slowly lower you onto the ground and relax the head onto the floor. Relax your shoulders. Keep flexing. This is one of the best hamstring stretches you can do. If you've ever gone to like physical therapy, this is definitely one of the things they'll make you do. I know I had to do it a lot when I was in physical therapy for my meniscus. They would time us 30 seconds, 2 times each leg. Good, bring both ends of the strap into your right hand, that should be the same side arm, and we'll take the leg out to the side. I wonder, turn this way. That might be better. And then so when you're holding the foot, think about keeping the foot elevated rather than dropping it onto the floor, pulling it up towards your armpit. So I'm pulling it out and up. On your next inhale, bring it back to the middle. Switch the grip into the opposite hand and twist. Keep your knees straight if you can. So this is a good one for your IT band. We talked last week about twisting and how when your body's in a twist, it's important to breathe deep, like Yanni's doing.
Yeah.
I'll never forget when we did the yoga class here and Jen was like,
Every time when I was breathing.
He's like, is that Yanni breathing? I've never heard Yanni breathe before. Good, bring your knee back up. Okay, we're just gonna step the opposite foot in.
And do the same thing on the opposite side. So both knees are straight and flexed. Relax your neck, but elbows are in tight, pulling. It's a dual action. You're pulling down on the foot with the strap, but you're pushing your foot into the strap. So it's a push-pull. And really feel where your hips and low back are connected to the floor here. Should almost feel like you're pulling your hip back into its socket. And the more you flex the foot, the more you're going to feel that calf. Good. Both ends of the strap come into the left hand. And we bring the leg out to the side and up, so your foot stays elevated. Your opposite hip might want to pop off the floor here, so you can use your free hand to staple the hip bone to the floor. Both hips should be squared on the ground. And you just let gravity stretch out the inner thigh for you. Inhale, bring it back to the middle, keep flexing. Hand off to the opposite arm and twist. And you should feel this in the side of your leg, in the hip, maybe a little bit in your back. Two more deep breaths here. Good. Bring the strap back to the middle. Okay. We're gonna keep the leg extended. Just gonna change my angle now. And we're gonna lift the head like a crunch. And you can flare the elbows out to the side here to sort of help you. We're bringing the head to the knee and breathing. Relax your head. Step the opposite foot in. Okay, take a deep breath in. Exhale, crunch, head to the knee. Flare the elbows out. Relax the head. And then bring both feet into the strap. So you should feel your low back connected to the floor here. And we're gonna pull the feet forward. Keep your head completely relaxed. Elbows flare out to the side. And I want you to keep your knees as straight as you can. Good. Relax your arms, but keep your feet in the strap. Okay, now we're going to do the same thing, but with the knees bent. We'll widen the feet in a second, but for now, keep your knees touching and your feet touching. And we're just going to bend the knees and pull. Think about bringing your knees towards your armpits once they're into your chest. Okay, so your feet are together and your knees are wide. This is almost similar to a butterfly stretch. Just a slightly different angle. Good, relax the legs straight. Okay, we're gonna bring the feet a little wider now. Same idea, we're doing your best to keep the low back on the floor. Bend your knees and pull them towards the armpits. Okay, so this is like a modified happy baby pose for those of you who know a little bit about yoga. And even though you're pulling, your neck is relaxed and free. So are your shoulders. Okay, so if you make your legs a little bit wider here, your feet rather, you can start to experiment with straightening one leg and then the other while continually pulling down on the strap.
Spider guard?
Yeah, this is sort of like spider guard actually. Okay, we're just dynamically stretching, and then when you found a comfortable distance for your feet, go ahead and keep the right leg extended. Keep pulling down so that left knee is pulling into your armpit still. So your elbows are drawing towards the floor here. Go ahead and switch. Right knee towards the armpit, left leg extended. I'll show you from this foot what it looks like. There you go. Okay. One more deep breath. Good. And then bring your legs as wide as you can for a straddle. One more deep breath. Good, and then you can release the strap, set it to the side, bring your knees in together, palms face out, face down like the letter T, and we'll just windshield wiper the knees. And then make little circles with your knees and massage your low back. And switch the rotation. Good. Let your knees fall all the way to the right and turn your head to the left. Come a little closer. Oh no, that's too close. There we go. Good. Switch, bring your knees to the other side and turn your head the other way. Good. Back to the middle with your knees, hug it in tight. So we'll take a figure 4 stretch, flexing your feet, right ankle over the left knee. We're interlacing basket grip behind the back of your thigh. If for some reason this is a hard stretch for you to maintain, you can use your belt here too. I'll just show you real quick. Most people are okay there, but if you're really tight in your hips, you can use the foot with the strap to give you a little bit of a better leverage here. Just another option. You can also place this foot up against the wall instead so that your shoulders can completely relax. One more deep breath here. Good. From here, keep your knees exactly where they are and bring your arms out to that letter T. Again, palms face down. Turn your figure 4 to the left until your right foot touches the floor. And the higher your knees are towards your chest, the more intense this stretch will be. You can stay here, or if you're not feeling it, you can take your palm to the inside of the knee and push it away gently. So another IT band stretch here. Slight spinal twist. Try to keep both shoulders on the floor. Good, relax. We'll bring it back to the middle. You can switch your figure 4. Basket grip behind your thigh. Pull it in nice and tight. Feet flex to protect your knee. You can choose to push the left knee away with your left elbow. Deep breaths. Neck relaxed. One more deep breath. Good. Keep your foot placement. Arms come out to the side. Turn your figure 4. And then you can stay here or press the knee away. One more deep breath. Good. Go ahead and bring the knees back to the middle and hug them into your chest. Rock from side to side. Okay, so we'll practice our inversion stretches again. So I'll demo it for safety first and then we'll do it together. So we start with the legs in a 90-degree angle. Lift the hips and catch your low back. Then begin walking the hands down towards your ribs. Scoot your elbows in nice and close. Once you're here, keep your chest towards the midline. Now you can stay here or begin piking the hips into a plow pose where the toes come towards the floor overhead. Your neck should be pain-free here. If for whatever reason your neck feels scrunched, come out of the pose. I have plenty of space between my ears and my shoulders here. If you feel okay here, you can interlace your hands together and straighten your arms behind your back. That's just optional. And then you can also experiment with being on your tippy toes versus being on the front of your foot. And then we'll take the legs nice and wide. I'm on my toes right now so that I can sort of shift my hips forward a little bit more. One more deep breath. And then if your legs are wide, bring the feet back together. If your hands are interlaced, place your hands back on your low back, and we'll slowly make our way back down onto the floor with the knees into the chest. All right, we'll counter that with a little back bend here. So we'll bring the feet nice and close to the hips for a bridge. Palms face down. Lift your hips up as high as you can and scoot your elbows in nice and close. Your shoulders together. Interlace your hands behind your back if you can. Deep breaths here, your lungs are very open. One more deep breath. Good, lower down. Let your spine reset. We're gonna do one more set of that. On the second set, you can either do the same thing we just did, or if you want, you can come into the full wheel pose. Let me just get into the full frame. All right, so I'll demonstrate the full wheel and then we'll do it together. So just watch me first. Just like a regular bridge, we come up, then place your hands alongside your ears, fingers facing your shoulders. So this alone is more challenging because you don't have your arms to help you cheat, like we were speaking about before when we were in Cobra, right? So the arms help more than you think. So just being here could be like a midway point. So you can stay here or use your hands, put pressure into your palms, and come up onto the crown of the head. And then you can stay here, or you can straighten the arms up all the way. If you choose to do this, when it's time to come down, you have to tuck your chin before you lower all the way down. Okay, so whichever option you choose, get yourself ready. Elbows in, heels in nice and close to your hips. Raise up into a bridge, and you can stay here or take the full wheel for 5 deep breaths. 4, relax your neck. This is good for your shoulder flexibility. 2 more deep breaths. 1 more. If you took the full wheel, slightly tuck your chin as you lower down and hug your knees into your chest. You can rock your knees from side to side. Good, straighten your legs. Bring your arms overhead and stretch the whole front of your body. Flex and point your toes, rotate your ankles. Squeeze your ankles together. We're going to take a deep breath and roll up to touch our toes. Deep breath in. Exhale, rolling up. See if you can keep your heels on the floor. And relax your head down. 5 deep breaths. Good, coming up, and then we'll crisscross the legs and just end with a final neck stretch here. So, just getting any final kinks out of your neck. Roll your shoulders. Inhale, both arms up. And then as we exhale, we'll just take a final hip stretch. Why not? And just relax everything down. Slowly walking back up, and we are good to go. Thank you for stretching with us today. If there's anything specific that you want to see or work on, let us know in the comments, and thanks for tuning in.
All right. Jill, Hungria. Pete
Pete. Oh, good. He got his triangle.
All right, good. That's great. Looks like this wireless cameras are freaking out. Oh, it's low battery. That's why.
Oh.
That's all right. We can turn that guy off. All right. Yeah. Thanks for joining us, guys. I feel like.
He got his tree pose.
Yeah. Thanks for joining us. I feel like the stretches were really good. Although I do want to say, on last Friday night, while I was sleeping, I don't know, my neck got tight.
Last Friday?
Yeah, I think I overdid the overhead stretches that we did.
The inversion stretches, yeah.
Yeah, my neck is actually, even though I play inverted guard a lot, I don't have a flexible neck.
Well, that's something we can work on.
Yeah.
It's easier when you do it up against the wall, which I would do. I just don't know how many of these guys have access to like a space near a wall at home.
Yeah. Oh, okay.
You know what I mean?
Using the wall?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I'd be happy to do like wall yoga.
What? Pete said you.
You.
I got my tree pose. You.
Pete, was it easier than last time? You said it was hard.
Yeah, this was a pretty tough one today, I'll be honest. There was a few of them, especially when
which
we were stretching our legs up with the
strap.
With the strap.
Mm-hmm.
My leg was like trembling.
That's good.
That felt good.
It was harder. This one was harder.
Oh, this one was harder. Yeah.
Interesting.
I felt like there were certain parts that were definitely harder this time.
Interesting. Okay.
Oh, man. Yeah, week 2 of the live streams went well, though.
Whenever Lauren said you could stay here. Yay, it's good that you're doing it, Pete, though.
Yeah, I know. That's good, man.
I actually come back limber.
I usually try to do whatever Lauren says, like, oh, keep going. But today there were a few of them where I was just like, no, I'll stay here.
Like the binding to your thigh.
Yeah. I was like, no, I'm not going to reach around and grab myself there. Oh, man. Yeah, felt good, though. Felt good. I enjoyed doing some yoga and stretching.
Mm-hmm.
Wonder if Bones is watching out there. I don't think so.
He should be.
Tell him. All right. Well, thanks for joining us, guys. Have a good weekend. And next week, we'll probably do something similar. We're going to look to do techniques. Maybe we'll stream it on Facebook, the techniques, so we get a little bit more chat. We're going to do the match studies. I'm going to try to pick, like, a bunch of specific matches that we're going to look at. And then if anyone in the chat is in there, I'll probably like jump in a different match as well. This week we had some good stuff actually. And then Wednesday we'll do no-gi again. And then Thursday, and then maybe we'll do yoga again next Friday. What do you think, Lauren?
Sure.
That should be our schedule. That sounds like fun. All right, thanks for coming, guys.
Bye.